Hello everybody and welcome back. As always, I am Mateo311 and this is your channel for everything VR related. So lately I've been trying to find some more unique VR games, genres we don't see too often, or just some aspect that is different from everything else that's out there right now. I get tons of emails asking me to check out games, and the majority of them don't fit that category, except for one recently did called MindXcope. Now this is an early alpha demo and the developers did ask me to cover it, so this is a sponsored video. However, all they asked me was, hey, can you just get some eyeballs on our game? We think we got something good here. We want to show it off a little bit, start building some hype. There are definitely some really cool attributes here, so I'm just going to show off some of the gameplay and talk about the features. Now, there are, of course, links and timestamps if you want to skip ahead, but before we jump in, MindXcope currently has an alpha demo that's available on both Steam and App Lab. The full release is slated for mid-2024, and I'm currently experiencing the Quest version. MindXcope is a surreal VR roguelite action title, and the premise behind this game has you entering a world where your fears and inner demons take on a visual representation, and you get to hack and slash them apart. It's basically the most aggressive form of therapy, and I don't believe it's FDA approved. Now, on your battle to self-improvement, you'll unlock and power up a wide array of both melee and ranged weapons, each with their own unique abilities. There's also a nice variety of enemies with different fighting styles, and this includes everything from mechanical spiders to flying eyeballs and some truly well-endowed ladies. Oh yeah, that's right, I forgot to mention that this game has plenty of jubblies.
Come on, developers. I mean, somebody's got a fetish.
If that's something you're looking for. Now, besides the top half of the ladies, this game also has some clear Asian influences, especially in its unique artwork. Now, the graphics were a definite standout for me. It has that cell-shaded style that works so well in VR and reminds me a bit of Borderlands. But above all, it's just really unique. You've never really seen a game in VR quite like this. Now, the roguelite mechanics are pretty much what you'd expect to see. The game goes on for as long as you could survive, and then when you die, you have to start over. You'll also come across shops, upgrade your weapons, find new items, but it was nice to see the fact that a lot of these items have elemental effects, like you could burn your enemies or freeze them. That's a little bit different. We haven't seen that in a while, so a nice little addition there. And then also, there are multiple different gameplay modes. So instead of your typical linear make it as far as you can, there's other options like a purge mode and a limited time survival mode. And while you're making your way through those, you'll also experience things like traps and destructible items. Now, another item that stands out and also has a little Asian influence is the combat. It's definitely unforgiving, and they want you to memorize some of the attack routines of the enemies. That's really how you're going to do your best in this game and survive for as long as possible. Blocking and countering is the best way to fight. Now, in order to block an attack, you have to strike it at a perpendicular angle. I feel the game in its current state should give you a little bit more leeway here, but maybe they're aiming to really give you a challenge. The average strike from your typical enemy is pretty easy to counter, but once enemies start pulling out the big swings or a flurry of blows, it can get a lot more difficult. You might want to rely on your ranged weapon, but it's limited in ammo and definitely not effective once enemies surround you. Now, I know the roguelite genre in VR is really overdone, but you definitely do get your money's worth with it. I also feel that this title's unique enough to stand on its own. Now, I hope they add a few more components and some minor tweaks before this game fully releases, but regardless, I'm going to keep an eye on its development. And that was today's coverage of MindXcope. I really hope you guys enjoyed the video. If you did, go ahead and throw it a thumbs up. If you're new here, consider subscribing. And as always, I'll see you guys on next time.